when you look at it, we're saying like 1983, which is crazy. Like that's when you debuted in the WWF. You really kind of made your mark in 1992, 1993, really, when and even 94 when you're the Head Shrinkers with Fatu. When you came all the way back, I know obviously there was some Montreal, some WCW, some World Class mixed in between. But when you came back to WWF in the mid '90s, did you think like, wow, this place has really changed from the 1983 era? I mean, we're in a completely
Oh,
different era now.
oh yes, 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 for sure. I mean, everybody was. I mean, we were still doing a lot of driving at the time, but a lot more flying than compared to back in the '80s. Um, Anything over under 250 miles, we were driving back then. Then it was like 17 days on the road, 3 days off. You know, the schedule was hectic. You know, up and down the highways. But hey, it's what we do because we love it. You know, so once you anybody that stepped in the ring, well, you know, it's addicting. You know, once you step your foot in there, your body hits the mat. It's done. It's a done deal.
How did you get back in '92? Like, what was was Vince just like, hey, we want to bring the Samoans back? We give them a different name as the Head Shrinkers. How did you get back in like when you came back in the mid '90s?
Well, it was supposed to be Yokozuna and I were supposed to do the head shrinker gimmick because we were tag teaming up in Japan at the time, and we were supposed to do the head shrinker gimmick in WWE. Well, actually, they wanted us to be New Guinea headhunters. And we're like, oh no, please, can we be some
Yeah,
more? You know, how about the head shrinkers? You know, we came up with that. And we were like, okay. But like I said, it was supposed to be Yoko and myself. And Yoko was at that time too. He was doing a lot of single stuff in Mexico, and he had got a cut on his leg which got infected, so he wasn't able to make the debut, our debut with Vince. And JJ Dillon went in the back and told the sad news, and then Vince just scratch the whole thing, forget it. You know, he does that real good sometimes. So.
yep.
And then we were at the time, Fatu was there with me. He was like laying down, relaxing underneath the table, and we're like, "Hey, let's go in there," because you know, him and I were the SST for the longest time, so we still had a package to offer, you know. So we were like, you know, we still got the, you know, something to show. Give us a chance, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, we'll leave. So basically, that's what happened. And then Fatu and I went out there and tore it down, and um, the rest was history. Yeah.
That's so interesting though that they didn't want the Samoan SWAT team together. They wanted you and Yoko together. That's kind of interesting.
Well, Yoko and I was already a tag team in Japan for a couple of years now. So I think basically they just wanted us out of Japan.
So they
They
weren't even
weren't even
thinking of
thinking of
you and
you and
Fatu.
Fatu. No, not at the time.
Man, I just remember you guys in WCW like tearing it up. It's like, wow, Paul Heyman, who obviously is still with Roman today, it's like he brought you guys in. It's like these guys are killers. Like these guys are awesome. You know, it's
Yeah.
just funny to think that WWF didn't think of that originally, even though it turned out better for everybody.
Yeah, well, it was just the package that we presented at the time. And of course, like I said, I was with Yoko for a long time in Japan. We were there every other month usually, and it was crazy. We did, you know, we did a lot of good business over there. So you know, I'm not going to abandon him at the time, and you know, it was just natural that we go together.
So it was
But
you guys that
you
came in.
know, he once he healed up, he came back, and that was even better for everybody. It was like we all had jobs, you know.
Yep.
You don't eat.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah. So it was you guys that came up with the Head Shrinkers name, like you said. You didn't want the New Guinea Headhunters name there. So Head
Yeah, no,
Shrinkers must be
I
a pretty
don't
good
even
name.
know what, you know, no offense, but I don't know nothing about the New Guinea, nothing, anything.
Who comes
So,
up with that stuff? Is that Vince? Is that creative? Like, where does that stuff come
don't get me going.
from?
I think it was Vince Russo.
Oh, wow, really? Okay, interesting.
That's me. That's just what I think. Just from hearing different things he said on different platforms.
So when you and
You know,
Fatu
like
are
that pretty much.
when
So
you
we
and
had to
Fatu,
put ourselves over.
oh, gotcha, okay. So when you and Fatu are together, obviously you go the Steiner brothers. I mean, there's a bunch of great tag teams that you guys wrestle. When you
Hmm.
guys are together, Are you just like, are you thinking to yourself like, this is where we want to be, this is great money, this is what we want to do?
Yeah.
Are you happy like with your position in the company?
Sure. I mean, everybody wants to be as high as you can get. Of course. But as far as tag teams, yeah, yeah, we were happy with where we at, and we fought for our positions. And, we worked hard for it, and a lot of it came to fruit. We did good. I mean, not like the money they're making today, but to us back then. And you got to remember too, I came from the '80s, so the '90s looked a lot better, or so I thought. And now that everybody's doing damn phenomenal now. It's good. I'm
Oh yeah.
proud of everybody.
What was the travel schedule like? Like how many days were you guys on the road back then? A lot?
Oh yeah, 17 days on, 3 days off. And out of those 3 days, takes you one day to get home, take a shower, wash your ass, pack your bag, get back on the road, catch up to everybody again. So it's hard. It's really hard on a family life, or on a marriage. Your kids, you're away from your family. It's just that's a real hard part.
Yeah, so you're basically home one day out of every 20 almost.
Hmm.
Man, that's rough. Yeah, that's just terrible. So the guys on the road, I mean, they're your family in essence.
Yeah. But like I said too, things aren't like that anymore. I'm glad these guys are able to spend time with their families and still be able to, you know, put food on the plate.
When you guys turned babyface and beat the Quebecers and win the tag team titles, I think it was April of '94 on Raw. Was that like a big thing? Like, does that mean as much to you guys as the wrestlers as just the fans? Like, wow, look at the resume; they're tag team champions. You can, like I mentioned at the top of the episode, you mean you can mention that forever, tag team champs. Does that mean as much as you guys to the wrestlers as does to us, the fans?
Oh, of course. That's what, like I said, that's what we fought for. The top is trying to get to the top position. And as far as tag teams, that's it. Once you get there, what I didn't like was that we were babyface. Because when we pitched the idea of becoming champions, that we can, hold the fort and hold that everything down, we felt, um, you know, they switched us babyface without, no notice. It was like, boom, here's Captain Blue, and you guys are babyface. I was like, wow. It kind of messed my whole vision of where I thought we were going up. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, that is interesting because you guys are like natural heels to me because it's like, oh, these guys are savages, they're animals, they're heels, right?
Mhm. Sure, that's what I felt. That's what I felt. Uh, they just, sometimes you don't know. It depends who's writing and what they're writing, when they're writing. Uh, it's better if you have their own creative control. The more you have, the better off you are. Like once you get out there, I feel. No, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, you don't feel it, you know it. Yeah, you've lived it, you felt it, yeah. So when you guys are tag champs, are you expecting like this really long reign? I mean, you guys do hold it for I think about 4 months or so, but are you expecting a longer reign, shorter reign, or they don't tell you stuff like that?
No, at the time there was a lot of I felt games going around back and forth with. So I was not very happy at the time. Even though we had the belt, it wasn't like I said. It wasn't the vision that I had. Um, I'm not one to like to be babyface. Not nothing against it. To other people, to each his own. Me, I'd rather be heel. And, it's just the way it is.
So you
So
when you guys
when you guys
lose the
lose
tag
the tag
titles
title,
to Diesel and HBK, they're just like, okay, that's fine. We're moving on. You like there was nothing promised to you guys or anything as far as that.
no, no, they were next in line, and again, it, the chemistry it just wasn't there against heel. Heel, especially the guys that have us work. Their job, they want what that's in their mind is to get themselves over, and they want to be the best. Same thing that we were thinking when we were. So yeah, no, it was. I don't even think that match happened. I think they just said it happened and switched the belts over there because I just ended up. I had a fractured sacroiliac too that I worked with for over a year, and there was just a lot of things that piled up at the same time that made me have to just hit the road.